know that Kim Flexi was behind all this. Calm down. Jimin was trying his best to calm Jungkook. After that, from the meeting, Jungkook was drinking his drink continuously, which he didn't intend to stop anyway. Of course, an angry Jungkook is dangerous, but only Jimin can handle him. Tae, who was in kitchen, can clearly hear Jungkook shouting, "How do you expect me to calm down? First, we lost our collaboration with Ken Corporation, and now I am not getting the share I deserve. I told you he is the one who gave wrong information to Ken. Don't you see the smoke on his face today?" We don't know who did that. And about today, Emma said she need time. That doesn't mean we lost share. I am 99% sure she will transfer the share to Gion Corporation, Jimin said while placing his hand on Jungkook's shoulders. What about remaining 1%? Even you are not fully sure about that. I work hard from this company every day. Even I agree to act in front of her only for her to make me front everyone saying she need time. If she doesn't hold the share, I am definitely the holder of the it. Alright, why is she making an excuse? Jungkook was about to take another glass of drink. Go to sleep. We will discuss further in morning. Don't be wasted. I am leaving. Jimin took the drink with him and left Jungkook's room, which he earned help from his brother Jungkook, who was not enough of his rage stood up to search from another drink. Jimin, Tae called up saying Jimin leave. Tae, I thought you would be asleep. Jimin approached Tae. I saw you coming, so I made this juice for you. They handed him the juice which he was holding. Really? Did you make this for me? You don't need to do this. Jimin said took the juice and finished each within second. That was on delicious juice. They smiled at Jimin, but suddenly his smile vanished, talking about Jungkook, which was not untouched by Jimin. Are you worried about him? He is like this. He will be okay in the morning. Don't worry about him and got some sleep. Jimin saw his familiar cute smile, which they addressed. Oh, maybe you can help him like that day. Jimin said it suddenly in a naughty tone. It take a few seconds for Tae to understood what Jimin meant. Jimin, they weren't loudly. I'm leaving. Good night and sweet dream. Jimin ran from there, leaving a tomato there. After that, he washed the glass and was about to go to his room. He heard the doorbell. He was confused. He decided to open the door. To his surprise, the person in front of him when he opened the last person he expected at this time. Thank you for opening the door, Jenny said and entered inside, leaving a shocked head there. Why is she here at this hour? He thought and followed her, but he stopped abruptly when she entered Jungkook's room without any warning. He stood there motionless. He felt betrayed, his eyes being to tear up. He prayed that what he was thinking should not happen. But all his hope and expectation fell to pieces when he heard a long cry from inside room, and it was enough for the tears he had been holding to fall. His breath level increased, his leg began to shake, and he felt like someone had aimed an arrow at his heart. Its heart. He didn't waste a moment when he heard the second cry. He ran his room with making shaking legs and closed the door immediately. He slowly down, walked towards the bed and left. He is not crying anymore because so many thoughts covered into his mind, and he smiled bitterly. What did you ever expect? You are only for his Emma and Sarah. You are not. He slowly closed his eyes, hoping everything was a dream and if not being strong enough to face it all. Time escaped. Jungkook was eating his breakfast at dining table and today he was a little late than usual but suddenly he frowned his forehead when the realization that he hasn't seen Tae anymore in the house today and it's also his eating time. For breakfast, Jungkook typically rises early, but occasionally he will be today, in which case Thea will join him. And today, Thea is not stormed to eat, and that puzzled him. He called his servant and asked about him. His Mr. Thea had eaten his breakfast earlier before you came, Master. Mr. Sen responded and left after bowing to his master. Why did he eat this early? This is so unusual of him. He, whenever he can eat at any time. He is not like this is to eat with me. Why I am so bothered about that? Jungkook shrugged his shoulders and continued to eat his food. Jungkook had just entered his office when Jimin stopped inside and locked the door behind him with an confused look from Jungkook. Why did you Jenny come your house last night? Do you try to lie to me? I swear her car entered when I left your house, Jimin asked without any patience. I don't know, she came at her own will and entered my room without my permission. Why did you allow her in your room? What did you both do? Jimin yelled angrily at his young. Why are you yelling like I have asked her to come? She came and sat on my lap and suddenly kissed me. We made out for a few minutes and before anything more happened, I told her to leave. How can you do that when they is the same house? Why? What? Why should I have to worry about him? I can't do what I want in my house. You are so damn young. Jimin lost his all patience and yelled at him louder. Jimin, did you come here this morning to call me dumb? What this is that has to do with Tae? Jungkook was on the verge of kicking Jimin out of his office, but Jimin's next statement shocked the out of him. He just frozen there with his eyes wide open. It was the third day Jungkook hasn't seen Tae. He knew Tae was in his room every time he came home, but this sudden absence felt something inside him. He didn't force Tae to come out of his room, nor did he go to his room. Tae was coming towards the dining room for his dinner when he noticed Jungkook eating there. He suddenly halted and slowly turned to go back to his room. But why should I have to ignore him? This is his house. He can bring anyone in he want and do anything. It's not like he promised me to. Otherwise, they thought for a moment and decided to join Jungkook. He was with a confident face and sat on the chair opposite Jungkook. Took the food he wanted to his plate and began to dig it without caring to look at Jungkook. Jungkook, who was amazed by the accent, let out a chuckle before he spoke. To look like you have too big appetite nowadays. They stopped eating up on hearing Jungkook smirk. For your information, I am eating for two, so it's normal to have a big appetite, he said and continued to eat. That caught Thea off guard and he stared to coach and reached for the water, but Jungkook was quick enough to deliver to him before Thea could take it. He didn't waste time, drank the whole glass and panted, "Are you okay?" Jungkook asked in front for yes. Thea said continue to eat without looking at Jungkook because he knew he was totally a tomato now from blessing her. Are you upset that I let Jenny on my room? Thea stopped eating and looked at Jungkook instantly. He became anxious but tried to best to hide it. Why should I be upset about that? This is your house. You can let anyone you want. He said, tried to be honest. She came here at her will. I didn't let her to come. Why are you explaining this to me? Because I can say nothing I want in my house. Then say everything you want. I am going to eat in my room. They suddenly stopped, picked up his plate, and walked from there. Yeah, eat here, Jungkook shouted, and Tae, who was now walking towards his room, saying his hip, you told me I can do whatever I want in this house as well. Tae started back without turning back, entered his room, and looked at it, leaving Jungkook, who was enjoying the moment, unknown to Tae. Midnight past 1 a.m. Oh no, the water bottle is empty. Thesan looked at the empty water bottle in his hand. He rubbed his stomach with the other hand. You are making me too much. That's why I am thirsty every minute. This said is too thoughts he walking towards taking to his baby, and then he slowly get up from bed and decided to get some water from the kitchen. Thay was going back to his room after drinking water and filled the water when he heard some noise from Jungkook's room. At first he thought Jungkook had brought somebody, but his doubt vanished when he heard some sobbing, and it was Jungkook. When he realized it was Jungkook who was sobbing, he didn't waste any time and slowly ran towards the door. He knocked several times, and when he didn't get any response, he slowly entered the room. Jungkook, are you okay? They asked with concern upon entering, only to see Jungkook clutching his bedsheet title and mumbling something with his closed eyes, tears falling continuously. It was not something they expect to see. He never saw Jungkook like this. The scene is front of him, broken his heart. He walked quickly towards Jungkook and shook him gently. Jungkook, are you okay? Are you ill? They asked with concern. Emma, don't leave me. They was shocked when Jungkook unexpectedly held his hand tightly and began to mumble again. Ajasi, open the door. Cookie will study hard next time. Open the door. I don't want to be alone. No, don't leave me here. It's scary here. It's all black. He was too stunned to say anything. Jungkook was having nightmare from his childhood. He realized in shock, and he was halted from his thought when Jungkook put his hand around Tae's hip, which made him sit on the bed and put his hand on Tae's lap and held Tae tightly. He continued to sob. Tae didn't know what to do. He slowly brushed Jungkook's hair. It's okay, Kiki. It's just a dream. Sleep. I'm here. Don't leave me, Jungkook said with closed eyes after a sniff. T hesitated before responding. I will not leave you. With that, Jungkook became silent, and after some minutes, they heard a soft snore. Jungkook was peacefully sleeping after all those mumbling and sobbings. Jungkook looked good with his round face pressed on their lips, and with the part he slowly leaves the bed by placing Jungkook's head on a pillow. Once he made sure Jungkook was fully asleep, he made his way towards the door and once gave one last look at the sleeping finger before gently closing it. After that incident, every night they secretly peek on the sometimes put his ear on Jungkook's door to ensure that he is not having any nightmares, and when he finds he is struggling to sleep, he will make sure Jungkook is not alone. Time escape. What are those in your hand? Jungkook asked when they got inside the car with a bunch of beautiful flowers. These are your father's favorite. If we put someone's favorite flower on their it's believed that it will make them happy until the flowers are fully dried away. I visit my parents with their favorite flower and place them every time they dry out completely, they said and so the flower to Jungkook. Every time they amaze him with new things and show him his different side. Jungkook doesn't say anything, he just looks at Tae slightly and he stopped when they waved the flower in front of him. Huh? Isn't it beautiful? They asked with shining eyes. Yes, he said, and quickly started the engineering, which made the little mad, but he didn't show it. They are going to visit Jungkook father. Mrs. Jian and Jimin was already on their way. When they reached there, they saw Emma and Jimin sitting on the bench there waiting for them. I thought you both couldn't make it today, Jimin said when he saw the couple approaching them. The traffic was hectic today because of the weekend, Jungkook said. Since we have visited before you came, we will be wait here. You both go and visit him, Mrs. Jian said. Jungkook nodded and held the hand and they both walked from there. When they walked a little, Jungkook suddenly stopped and looked at Tae. You stay here, I want to visit him alone, he said and Tae nodded in response. After Jungkook walked from there, Tae sat on the nearby bench. He waited for some minutes and after that Jungkook came back and said with him, Go, I will be there. Jungkook said and took his phone and started to scroll. They took the flower and walked towards the gate. Once he reached there, he placed the flower gently on top of stood there, looking at Jungkook for the gift. Ajase, 안녕하세요, 아버지. I don't know if I call you that. Sorry if you don't like that. I'm no one but a guy who was carrying your grandchild. Yes, you are going to be a grandpa. I wish Jungkook would never be a father like you. Sorry to say this, but I can't help. You know what the worst feeling a parents can feel in their children? Nightmares. Everyone wants to become a good memory in their children's lives, but you become a nightmare for your son. The nightmare that haunt him every night when he feels at any time when something goes wrong. But he isn't doing any of his business of you. You made him perfect. You made him restless. There is more in this world than money and fame. I hope he will understand this. They sign before continue. I know I have no right to talk to you like this, but I am someone who cares for him, acting or not. He is my baby's father, and I want him to live peacefully. I hope you understood me and forgive me if I offend you. Then he closed his eyes, prayed silent for a soul for some sound, and turned back to leave, only to notice Jungkook is standing for a little distance, looking at him silently. He likes you. Are you so dumb? Are you so dumb, Hyung? Jimin, did you came here this morning to call me dumb? What is it that has to do with Tae? Because he like you? Jungkook was waiting for Tae to come back when he noticed one of the flowers Tae brought for his father was lying on the floor. Maybe Tae had stopped it. Jungkook took the flower and decided to give it to Tae. He could see Tae standing in front of Tae from a distance and he moved a little bit closer but halted when he heard Tae's words. He heard everything. He stood there speechless. He was going through so many emotions because he thought Jimmy was lying when he said Tae likes him. He can't figure out how a person like Tae, who was kind, soft, and naive, can like a person like him. He was nothing but true towards him from the very beginning. He cannot understood the feeling what was built inside him after they came to his house. On top of that, they know about his nightmares. One day he sat there leaving his room. He could feel that someone was near him when he had a nightmare, but he thought that it was also a dream, so it was not a dream. Jungkook realized in shock he was about to go back before. Jungkook stood there without knowing what to do. He saw their expression change into one of terror, so he tries to not make anything obvious. He decided to walk towards there. I thought he just came. You dropped this. Jungkook saw a flower in his hand and walked to the gate, placed it above it. He tried his best to not reveal that he heard Tae every word. He then walked back to Tae and held his hand. It's getting late. Emma must be waiting for us. Let's go. Tae released a relief sign after that because he was feared that Jungkook has heard everything. Emma, can you do me a favor? Tae asked softly. What is it, Tae? I want you to I want to go to the restaurant. Granny has been having a fever for a few days. Hobby is only there to look after eating. I won't to burden him. I am sure I will take care of my health. Please, can you talk with Granny? She will only allow me if you speak with her because it's a very boring here doing nothing. Theodore, his puppy, yes, she thought for a moment before responding. Well, if that is what Matthew wants, then I will speak to her, but promise me you will not strain yourself. Of course, I promise, he said so happily. I saw his pinky finger of her, which made Mrs. Chan chuckle at his behavior. Jungkook, what did you say? I have nothing to say. It's his choice, he said, and continued to eat. No, Jungkook would never mind what he was doing, so he was not bothered by Jungkook's reply. He was used to his cold behavior. Next morning, they were patiently waiting for Jungkook to come out of his room. He was all ready to go to the restaurant and meet his granny and hobby. As soon as car was stopped in front of his restaurant, he quickly unbelted and got out. Thank you, they said to Jungkook through the window. It seems like you are over the moon. Of course, because I'm going to meet my family and do my favorite job. They paused for a second. Working the job we love will always make us happy, he said. His thought he were trying to say something. Jungkook silently looked at the I am going. They gave him a strong look when Jungkook said this. He was trying his best to be nice with Jungkook, but it looked like Jungkook is not going to give up on his cold behavior. You surely need a smile therapy. With that, they walked away, but Jungkook didn't start his car. He was happily entering the restaurant. Time escape. Jungkook and Jimin were going back to their company after a meeting with some business people. Jungkook looked outside when they passed their restaurant. He doesn't know why he is expecting to see the outside, but he didn't see him. Jungkook looked away and stared into the front mirror. He can see his image, a handsome, wealthy businessman with a cold face. Move. You surely need a smile therapy. Suddenly, the words come to his mind. He looked at the mirror for a second and tried to slowly smile. Slowly, he widened his smile and then suddenly stopped to smile when again smiled slowly. He suddenly feels like someone is watching him and he knows who is it. So he slowly acts like he is checking his teeth. I think the meat is stuck between my teeth, he said without looking at Jimin and continued his acting. Yes, I will pretend like that was the matter, Jimin said in smile which announced Jungkook. He quickly stopped, checking the mirror and diverted his focus outside again. It was a beautiful day to embrace myself in front of this spread, Jungkook thought.